Hey everyone, it's Nikki. Welcome back. Today is day 11 of our 12 days of Christmas, and we're celebrating the reason for the season. We have some wonderful hosts today, and be sure to check them out along with a playlist that'll be linked down below. All right, this little box I thrifted, and for paint, I'm going to use Bunker Hill Blue by Dixie Belle and Dusk by Waverly. And I'll be doing a lot of blending between these two, just going back and forth and softening those edges until it feels like a calm night sky. We're creating a nativity scene, and this one's really special because this is something I've always wanted to make, and I'm so excited that this collaboration gave me the perfect reason to finally do it. I'm not going to have you watch me do all the blending, but I then brought the bunker blue around the sides and then the very front of my box. All right, so I'm going to start making my little people. And so I have a box filled full of wood pieces. I took this little small wooden dowel that's already been cut and glued this large wooden bead to the top. Then I took this burlap and just made a little scarf, and then I used a lighter burlap to make him a little hat. Just glued it around the sides of his head, and then I made a little circle and set that off on the top. I'm going to finish it off with some twine. I'm going to tie it in a little bow, just using a little bit of hot glue to make sure my bow stays tied. All right, I'm going to work on my little angel. This is one of those little people that you can buy in a bag at Dollar Tree. I think it comes with like 4 people. And I'm taking this vintage lace that I dyed in coffee. And I think this is a type of burlap. And I just glued the lace to one of the sides of the burlap. And I'm going to wrap it around her, gluing it at the top of her head. And then I'm going to tie it off with some more twine around her neck. Then for this next one, I'm taking a red Jenga block, and this is again out of that same wooden box. And I grabbed some red burlap and did the same steps with him, except I added some vintage tinsel around the top of his head to act like some sort of a crown or a head wrap. And off camera, I just took a Chanel stem and made him like a little staff. And for this next one, I took a blue Jenga block there and did the same thing, added a bead, some burlap, and then some more of that tinsel around the top of his head. All right, we're going to make Mary. I chose a yellow block, and I'm going to add some pretty vintage lace I had dyed, as well as this lace trim. And I wanted to look lovely and elegant, like a beautiful lady. And then I tie off her little dress. I use some more of that pretty little vintage tinsel. I grabbed 6 of Dollar Tree's Jenga blocks, glued 2 together, so I had a total of 3, and then ran each block right down into one of the fingers. These gloves I found at Dollar Tree, and then ran a bit of glue on the opening end and then just squished it together to close it. Then I took this black felt and made these teensy tiny little ears and glued those right to the top of their head. We're making sheep. This balsa wood I got while thrifting, and I cut about 2-inch pieces. I cut 4 of them. Then I made a little X and glued them together. So I have a total of 2. Then I grabbed this craft stick and cut 2 pieces out of this, probably about the same length. This is going to be baby Jesus's bed. There wasn't anything that states in the Bible what this is called. All it says is manger. So we can just call it his little bassinet. You know, I forgot to put hay in this. Totally spaced it. So poor baby Jesus is just laying on this wood. But he is wrapped up real nice, so he does have cushion. He's already telling me he forgives me. I can hear his voice saying, it's okay. Because this is a box shape, I then added this ornate wooden detail that you could put on like a corner of a frame and then glued that to the very top to act like an arch. Then I took the color maize and started drawing on some little stars just here and there, and then added my glitter pen. You really can't see, but I did add that. I added a little bit of water to some white paint and then took my fan brush and made some little specks all over to add to that illusion that they're stars. Then I flipped my box over, took my drill, and added some little holes to the back. Grabbed these fairy lights and push them right down inside of the hole, just bending right where the bulb meets the wire. That way the bulb sits right inside the hole, but I don't push it all the way through. It just rests right in the hole. Then I secured everything in with some masking tape. This star I dug out of my stash and painted it with the color maize. And I still needed one more person, so I took 2 of these blocks, glued them together, added yet another wooden bead, and gave this one a wrap as well. This is going to be Joseph. And I'm sorry, you're going to see that I get out of frame here a bit. I'm sorry about that. This is like a suede thread, and I gave him a little band and a belt as well. I made some wings from my little angel, and that's out of that same suede thread, and glued those right to the back. I dug these little wooden blocks out of my stash and then took more of that twine, and I'm going to make 3 little presents. The morning that I was recording this, it was freezing. I actually had to turn on the heat, and while I was making these presents, I slid my sleeves down because my hands were like ice cubes. That's how cold it's starting to be already. And I glued those little presents right to the front of my 3 wise men. that's it for this one. I just love how peaceful this little scene feels. Joseph and Mary, baby Jesus, surrounded by 3 wise men and their gifts, and those sweet little sheep resting nearby. It's a simple reminder of love, hope, and the true reason for the season. I really enjoyed making this one, and it felt meaningful from the start. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. If you enjoyed this project, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And I'd love for you to subscribe so you don't miss the last day of our 12 days of Christmas. Until then, bye.